Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as I show you how to collect the seeds from a Penstemon plant. So let's go. Penstemon, also known as Beardtongue, is a perennial here where I live in New Hampshire Zone 5B. There are a lot of different varieties of Penstemon out there. There are different colors as well as different heights. I have two over here. This one in a pot is called Rock Candy Pink. I recently bought it on clearance from Walmart for $3, which I thought was a steal. And the best part was the plant was going to seed. So I figured I might as well collect the seeds from it so I can winter sow them this coming winter. And then I have another one here that's in a bucket. It was out in my landscape. It wasn't in the best location, so I dug it up. And I figured I might as well show you what it looks like in terms of the seeds as well as the seed pods. I'm pretty sure the variety is called Husker Red. Right here, you'll notice this pink color. These are flower buds. These are still going to be opening up and they're going to be producing blooms for us. The same is true for over here. These are flower buds that still have to produce flowers. In this example here, these are flowers that have gone by and have started to go to seed. But notice they're a green color. They are not ready for us to pick yet. We want that green color to turn brown. Once they've turned brown, they will then have seeds that are inside of the seed pods that are viable. And here's an example of seed pods that have turned brown. And notice the top of them. They're starting to crack open. That's a good sign. That tells us that the seeds are ready for us to collect. Now these are the seed pods of the Husker Red plant, and the seed pods are a little bit larger than on my other Penstemon plant, but they both look very similar in terms of how the pods are open. For comparison purposes, I just wanted to show you the seed pods that are more towards the left, that's on the Husker Red, and the seed pods that are on the right, that's from the Rock Candy Pink. So the ones on the Rock Candy Pink are a little bit smaller, but the form of the seed pod is similar. So just keep that in mind. To collect the seed pods, I'm going to use these small micro snips because what I found is it's very hard to just pull off or yank off this whole stem here. It's much easier to just snip it off. Next, you just want to crush the seed pod capsules to release the seeds. And while I'm doing this, what's happening is the seeds are being released, but also as I'm crushing the seed pods, that material, the seed pod material, is called chaff. And I'll show you after this what I do to separate the chaff material that's not needed from the seeds. So what you're looking at there is just a mix of the seed pod material or chaff mixed with the seeds. I like to use a kitchen strainer to separate the material so that the seed falls to the bottom. So at the bottom of this kitchen strainer is a bowl. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour in the contents of what we just removed off of the plant into the top of the kitchen strainer. We're going to mix this around. And then what you're left with in the bowl is mostly seeds and a tiny bit of the chaff material. Most of the chaff material should stay in the top of the strainer. We're going to go ahead and just pour out whatever's in the bowl. And what you're looking at on the screen is a close-up of what the seeds look like. I did put a dime next to the seeds just for cross-reference so you can see the size of the seeds, that they're very, very small. And you'll notice that there still is some of the chaff material that's mixed in with the seeds. I'm okay with that. It's not a lot of material to have to store. I'm going to let these seeds dry for at least 1 week. I'm going to put them in an area where no one walks by them, where they're not just going to blow off the paper. And after 1 week, what I'll do is I'll put them away for storage. I have them on a folded piece of paper. I like to then take that folded piece of paper and basically use it as a funnel. And I'm going to funnel the seeds into a small Ziploc bag. I store all my seeds in small Ziploc bags, and you can use whatever you want. You can use a paper bag, you can use a jar, but the key is just make sure that your seeds are fully dry. I will then label my Ziploc bag with the name of the plant, the year that I collected the seeds, as well as what the variety or the color of the plant is. I like to put the year that I collected my seeds on my Ziploc bags. And the reason is, as each year goes by that you have seeds, the seeds end up losing their viability. So they're going to be less likely to germinate. Fresher seeds have a higher viability. So it's always a good thing to put the year that you collected your seeds on whatever container you're using to store your seeds. When it comes to sowing the seeds, I'm going to be using the winter sowing process. A lot of perennials, including Penstemon, need what's called a cold, moist stratification period. And one of the ways to do that is through the winter sowing process. Another way to do it is to sprinkle the seeds out in the landscape and let nature do what it needs to do. And then a final way you can get this type of cold stratification period is by putting the seeds in your refrigerator for a certain period of time. I'll put a link to my winter sowing playlist down in the description below in case you're interested in checking that out. Penstemon seeds need light to germinate, so no matter what process you use, when you're ready to sow your seeds, you want to make sure that you leave the seeds just on the soil surface and press them in. You don't want to cover them with any soil. When you start perennials from seed, they usually won't bloom the first year. It might take a few years, so be patient. I hope you found this video helpful. I love collecting seeds from plants, so I've created a lot of videos showing you how to do that, and I'll put a link to that playlist down in the description below. And I'd love to hear from you. So if you have any questions or comments, please drop them down in the comment section below. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.